CBS Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
And welcome back to legendary Lambeau Field. Over 72,000 fans watching on a perfect day, Steve. 6 degrees at kickoff time.
You're frostbitten, Gus. It is.
This is perfect.
It's a long way from perfect, but it's not bad. I'll tell you, it's quite a day.
All right, Houston has won the toss and will receive the football. Gary Kubiak in his 4th season, and his team coming off a 30-17 win against Jacksonville on Monday. And Mike McCarthy on the other side in his 4th season as well. His team coming off a 35-31 dramatic loss last week to the Carolina Panthers right here in Green Bay. Second meeting between these two teams. Green Bay won the first meeting back in 2004, 16-13 on a Ryan Longwell 46-yard field goal. And we're underway from Green Bay. Andre Davis from the goal line. And Davis all the way up to the 25-yard line before being stopped. A return of 25 yards. So Matt Schaub back on the field, and his last start was on November 2nd at Minnesota. He's missed 5 straight games with the knee injury. So Matt Schaub for this Houston Texans team this season, 3-4 as a starter, 7-11 all time. He starts from his own 25. First down and 10. Leach and Slayton line up in the aisle. Play fake. Shot. Rolling. Dumps it off to his fullback, Leach. And Leach will gain 5 yards on the play as he's knocked out of bounds. Offensively for Houston, they rank 5th in the NFL, 5th in passing, 15th in rushing. Winston will have his hands full with Aaron Campman today, one of the best pass rushers in the National Football League. As for the backs and receivers, Kevin Walter is Mr. Touchdown. He has 7 receiving touchdowns this season, tied for 7th in the NFL. And there he is in his 6th season out of Eastern Washington. Now Slayton running over the left side with a huge opening. Slayton keeping his feet moving, and the rookie out of West Virginia picks up 12 yards on the play. Last week against Carolina, the Packers defense allowed 5 rushing touchdowns for the first time since 1980 against Chicago. Campman, though, with 2 sacks, he has 9.5 on the season. The linebackers, A.J. Hawk in the middle, and he starts at middle linebacker for the 4th time this season. He hasn't played middle linebacker since high school. And in the secondary, Charles Woodson moves from left corner to strong safety because of injuries. Now it's Schaub throwing, looking down the field, and it's caught. And it's Walter. Touchdown number 8. And Houston striking quickly, 58 yards.
Well, if there's any question about Matt Schaub's courage, he dispelled it on that last throw. He got crushed in the pocket right as he threw it. He hung in there tough. Watch Campman and Bishop, bang. Campman comes in and gets it. Watch Walter. He comes out. It's a deep throw, a little hesitation and go. But watch, the ball's underthrown because of the pressure. Walter steps inside, and the 2 defenders trip over it, and it's gone.
Tremont Williams covering.
Gus, the story of that play was Matt Schaub standing in the pocket and laying it out there. I mean, it wasn't a great throw, but because he got rid of it and because Walter could adjust to it and the defender couldn't, man coverage is tough. And the Texans made the Packers pay for it.
A 58-yard touchdown, and there's an injured player on the far side. It's Nick Collins, who got banged up last week as well. 6-0 Houston Texans showing the big play on their opening drive. Back to Green Bay after this. All right, Nick Collins is okay. He's on the Packers sideline. Houston striking with a 58-yard touchdown pass from Schaub to Kevin Walter. Now the extra point by Chris Brown, up and good. 7-0, 8 receiving touchdowns on the year. for Kevin Walter.
Here's the touchdown, Gus. You go back and look at it. Here's Campman right here. He's going to get pressure here. He can't get there before Walter gets outside up here and has to come back. Watch the quarterback Schaub as he drops back as well. He's going to stand in there knowing the pressure's on, makes the throw. Not a great throw at all, but Walter makes the play.
Walter, great year, 50 catches. That was his 50th catch. Over 700 yards and 8 touchdowns. He came into this game averaging close to 15 yards per reception. And Matt Schaub, on his first big pass back, throws the bomb, and it pays off for the Texans.
You can see there at the end of that, right when Walter caught it, that's where Collins got hit, too. It was his own man that he rolled into, and the collision left him shaken up before we went to break. And then Walter, it's one of those plays, Gus, it rarely happens. Right there you see the play. He's the guy that went in low, not the guy that went over the top. Collins, that is. Walter, it's one of those rare plays, Gus, where the ball's caught and there's nobody to chase him.
So Kevin Walter, 6th year out of Eastern Washington, as the Texans prepare to send it away. Houston's confidence growing, especially after the big Monday night win over Jacksonville. Will Blackman is back deep for the Packers as Chris Brown sends it away. Blackman taking some steps up. He fields it at the 11. And Blackman crosses the 30 and gets up to the 32-yard line. An 18-yard return. And that brings out Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers, 29 of 45 last week, 298 yards against Carolina, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. That interception coming late. He was sacked twice. His quarterback rating 96.3, and he completed passes to 9 different receivers.
Yeah, and that interception was late in the game with 1:30 to go. He's trying to throw it down, kind of a desperation throw. So it's kind of hard to count it against him. He's trying to make a play at a time in the game where you had to make the effort to do that.
So first down and 10 at the 32. Hall and Grant line up. And they hand it to Ryan Grant, second man through, and he gets to the 35, up to the 37-yard line, a 5-yard run. Packers offensively ranked 10th in the NFL overall, 10th in passing, 18th in rushing. Clifton is their Pro Bowl left tackle. The backs and receivers, Donald Driver, another 50 reception season with Lee, and the other dangerous receiver, Greg Jennings, who leads them this season. Second down and 5 at the 37. Here's the handoff, and it's Grant running over the right side. He gets to the 40. Defensively for the Texans, last week against the Jaguars, the Texans defense forced 3 turnovers and sacked David Garrard 3 times. Mario Williams leads all defensive ends in the AFC in sacks with 11. And the linebackers, Adibi doing a terrific job. 4th round pick rookie out of Virginia Tech. And in the secondary, a healthy Dante Robinson is back in the starting lineup at corner. Brandon Jackson comes in for Green Bay. 3rd down and 2 at the 40, out of the gun. Rodgers pumping, going up top, and he's got a receiver incomplete. He just couldn't put it on Driver, and there is a flag on the play at the 45.
It might be the reason that Driver couldn't get out of his break where Aaron Rodgers thought he was going to be.
Holding. Number 23 of the defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
Now that's Robinson. Dante Robinson called for the hold. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, and that's what kept him from getting out. And Robinson tries to get in. That's a veteran play. He knows he got had right there. He tried to jump underneath the slant, and it wasn't a slant. It was a corner route. And he got caught. And it's probably a good penalty to take, because if he doesn't get his hand on Driver's in the end zone.
And the Packers have scored on their opening drive only twice this season, at Tampa Bay week 4 and against Indy week 7. First down, and Rodgers with time underneath, and it is knocked away at the last moment. Eugene Wilson coming up and making a play.
Wow, and that was a nice play coming up from the safety spot. Watch, You'll see him right at the bottom and coming in from the top, watching the quarter, and that's what safeties do so well, Gus. They don't really even look at the receiver. They kind of have an idea of where they are. They're looking right at Aaron Rodgers' eyes. When he's not going to throw it someplace he's not looking. So they watch where he's going and try and get there before the ball does.
Jermichael Finley, the intended receiver, 2nd down and 10. At the 45, here's Grant. And Grant gets all the way up to midfield and into Houston territory. D'Amico Ryans with the tackle. That's a gain of 5. And Ryan Grant did not play in the second half last week against Carolina because of a sprained thumb. But he is healthy and ready to go today.
Yeah, it's funny because you think about a guy running the football, you think, well, what's his thumb got to do with it? And really what it comes down to is one of the most crucial statistics in football, Gus, turnover. If you can't hang on to the ball, you can't play.
3rd down and 5 at midfield for Rodgers. Very mobile quarterback. Out of the shotgun. Opening drive for Green Bay. Here's Rodgers up top. It's incomplete. Jennings, the intended receiver, and it looks like there was some miscommunication on that route.
Yeah, Rodgers was throwing that down. Jennings gets loose. Watch, it's a great release. He gets untouched and he comes up, gives his quarterback room, and he's a little late to look. See, the ball's already past him. He was expecting the football down the field, or perhaps he thought Rodgers was going to throw it to a shallow route. He was not looking for the football, and that would have been an easy completion for a big gain.
And a new punter for this Packers team, Jeremy Capanos. That one off the side of his foot and out of bounds at the 25. He replaces Derek Frost, who was released on Monday after a poor performance against Carolina. And Capanos, the first-year player out of Penn State, gets off to a rocky start, 25 yards. Welcome back. 1st down and 10 for Houston at the 25-yard line. Slayton running the ball over the right side, and Slayton breaks the tackle and crosses the 30 up to the 32. Desmond Bishop in today for Brandon Chiller, who's out with the groin injury with the tackle. And let's take a look at that punt, Steve.
Well, there's an article coming out of Green Bay after they signed Capanos. They've been going through punters faster than any other team in the league, and you know, you come out and punt on a day when it's 5 degrees. It's your first punt for your new team. You didn't even know what number you were going to have until probably Thursday of this week. Tough to come in those conditions.
2nd down and 4 at the 31. Slayton again. And Slayton will tumble forward and get to the 35. How about Slayton? He came into this game with 904 yards rushing. He rushed for 130 yards against Jacksonville and 2 touchdowns. And here's a young man, a 3rd-round pick out of West Virginia, that's really starting to find himself.
No question. And you'll see when he runs the football, one of the things you like about him is he'll get in and run right up between the tackles, and he'll make guys miss in tight spaces. He's got a real ability to stop, sidestep, and then accelerate again, like all the great running backs do. And he's really starting to get more and more comfortable in his role.
Rushed for close to 4,000 yards in college. 3rd all-time leading rusher at West Virginia. 3rd down and short. Texans need a yard at the 34. Here's the handoff, and nothing doing. Bishop coming up and making the tackle on Cecil Sapp.
What a great play. This is Bishop right there. Just goes right through. He's the near side outside linebacker, and he doesn't step outside at all. Goes straight forward right between the guard tackle. No chance. What a great defensive play.
Only 18 3-and-outs for the Texans this season, least in the NFL. And now Blackman starts from the 30, and he secures the ball at the 30-yard line. A 39-yard punt. Packers trying to get it going on defense. Back after this. Welcome back. 6 degrees here in Green Bay as the Packers take over. 1st down and 10 at the 31. Hall and Grant line up in the backfield. Play fake. Rodgers fires the bomb down the field for Driver. At the 24. Flag on the play. And the Texans say it's coming back.
Yeah, that's the call. driver gave a little push.
Pass interference, number 80 of the offense. 10-yard penalty remains, first down.
And that'll wipe out a 45-yard gain.
It'll happen at the end of the route, Gus. Watch his driver gets right around Reeves, and then right there, the push. And that's what got him the separation. And I'll tell you, Gus, it doesn't take much. I think it's a good call because he extended his arm. And that's what really gave him the separation. Not only did it accelerate him forward, it pushed Reeves backwards, and defenders hate that.
But I tell you one thing, it looks like the Packer receivers have been able to beat the Texans deep early in this game. They've been misfiring. First down and a long 20 at the 21. Here's Grant. And Ryan Grant, the second-year man out of Notre Dame, gains 5. The Bears and the Jaguars. Here's JB in New York.
Nobody with a call like Gus Johnson. Hey, Gus, you know there's a tight NFC North race after a David Garrard pick. Kyle Orton makes him pay, hooking up with Desmond Clark, a little 2-yard strike. Bears out in front, 7-0 over Jacksonville. Gus and Steve.
All right, JB, you're too kind. Thank you so much.
The big question there, Gus, as you see the Green Bay standings with Chicago, isn't about who's going to win Chicago-Jacksonville. It's about what happened to Jacksonville.
Yes. Very good question. 2nd and 15. Rodgers out of the shotgun. Here's Rodgers stepping up in the pocket. And Rodgers gets down at the 31. He's close to the original line of scrimmage in front of D'Amico Ryans. Atlanta's been playing well. Rivalry today with New Orleans. Here's JB.
That's right, Gus. Atlanta with 2 straight road wins, but it's the Saints getting off early at home. Drew Brees hooking up with Reggie Bush. That came after a Matt Ryan pick. It's the Saints on top right now, 7-0. Back to Gus and Steve.
All right, JB, 3rd down and 10 at the 31 for Green Bay. As you take a look at the NFC South, Tampa and Carolina. Carolina beating this Green Bay team last week in dramatic fashion. Rodgers, who played well in that game, fires near side, and that's Jordy Nelson, the rookie, with the first down. Jordy Nelson, rookie out of Kansas State, 2nd-round pick, and he picks up 12.
And it's coming back, Gus.
Holding, number 76. Offense, 10-yard penalty remains, 3rd down.
Chad Clifton, the left tackle.
Yeah, he was working against Mario Williams, and Mario got around him, and he just tugged him right as he went right. Here's Mario Williams. This is Chad Clifton. Watch as he comes around the corner. He gets a good run, dips his shoulder, gives him the hard rush, and then Clifton's got his arm around his front. Clifton was behind him and had his arm across his chest, and that's the hold, and that's the call.
So Clifton advancing to the Pro Bowl last season, 9th year out of Tennessee, 3rd down and 20 at the 21. They need to go to the 41 for a first down. Underneath, Nelson again, snares it, tries to get across the field and goes down at the 31-yard line. Gains 10 in front of D'Amico Ryans, but the Packers will have to punt it away.
Yeah, this is, you know, they're just hoping that he can catch this ball and maybe make a couple of guys miss and get the first down. But you really, 3rd and 20 is a tough thing to pick up, Gus. Just get some of it back.
So let's see if Kapanos can do a little bit better after a 25-yard punt. Left-footed punter, and this one driven down. And it's fielded by Jacoby Jones at the 20. Jacoby Jones with a block. Jacoby Jones is down at the 46-yard line. But there is a flag on the play all the way back at the 20.
Yeah, this is going to be a block in the back. Right back where he caught it, I think, Gus. It was a great return, and special teams are going to be a factor here. The Packers gave up a big return last week at the end of the game to put them in a position to lose.
Illegal block in the back, number 32 of the receiving team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
That's Fred Bennett.
You'll see this right here. I'm sorry, he's way out here. That's it. Now watch. He's just going to get it, and boom, you can't do that. The guy, when he gets blocked and the guy turns away from him, Gus, it's always a little too far behind.
Texans backed up.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the 2009 Cadillac CTS and by Bud Light. The difference is drinkability.
Matt Schaub throwing on first down underneath, and it is incomplete, intended for Kevin Walter, who was already scored on a 58-yard touchdown. Gus Johnson, Steve Tasker with you from Lambeau Field, the tundra. And it is frozen today.
It is cold today. It is cold today. This is classic late season Green Bay weather, and this is for as old as this stadium is, being refurbished now over 10 years, these people really treat this as a place that's very special, and it is, Gus.
It's a shrine. Second down and 10 at the 11. Schaub with time over the middle. And incomplete, almost picked off. Walter, the intended receiver again. Charles Woodson, who's had a nose for the football this season, playing strong safety today, has 5 interceptions this year.
Yeah, and Schaub's going to drop back. He hangs in there pretty good, but Campman's going to put him on his back again and forces really a bad throw. And the pressure is what does it. Schaub throwing this off his back heel, gets pulled to the ground in his own end zone. That's going to be the theme of the day, Gus. If the receivers for Texans can get open against man very quickly, Schaub's got a chance. The longer it takes, the more the pressure's going to be in his face.
Third down and 10 at the 11. And they hand it off. Slayton. And Slayton picks up the first down on third down and 10. A 13-yard gain, and this is a good little young running back, Steve.
Yeah, and what a play, too. 3rd and 10, you got enough confidence to hand it to the rookie. Watch off the left side. Walter comes in, kind of gonna help on the end, but then kicks the safety out of the corner out. Slayton getting right through there. Slayton's really been good, Gus, at running in traffic, running places where you think he's going to get hit, and he comes out unscathed. Really incredible.
And the Texans now 1 for 30 on third down and 9 this season. That was their first conversion of 3rd and 9 or more on that 13-yard run. Campman with the tackle. Now, got a sports fan on your gift list, then shop online at the CBS Sports Store. Beat the crowds and save big on all officially licensed NFL gear right now. Just click on shop at cbssports.com. So that brings up second down and 8 at the 25-yard line. Leach and Slayton line up in the aisle. Andre Johnson, the motion man. Play fake, shot. Looking down the field for Johnson. Throws it into double coverage, incomplete. And Johnson at the 30-yard line. Woodson, Al Harris, both in on the play.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Gus, you always wonder about throwing it into double coverage, even if you're throwing it to Andre Johnson. But when it's Charles Woodson and Al Harris on the double coverage, that's asking a lot. And that's what, that's really what Schaub was doing, Gus. I mean, he was just saying, well, let's see what happens. It was just, we're going to throw it up and see if my guy can make a play. He wanted to let him know that he was going to go to Andre Johnson, whether he was open or not, and make him cover him everywhere.
Third down and 8 at the 26. Here's Schaub. Steps into his throw, and he underthrows an open receiver. And that time it was David Anderson, second string wide receiver behind Walter.
Yeah, and I think Schaub just underthrows this. It kind of, the nose of the ball goes down into the ground, and it starts to push the ball down. It didn't get out there where he thought it was going to be. He had plenty of time to step into it and just didn't make a good throw.
So Matt Turk comes in to punt. He stands at the 11-yard line. Will Blackman, 3rd in the NFC, 5th in the NFL with a 12.8 punt return average, and he's returned 2 punts this season for touchdowns. He'll get an opportunity from the 33. And he gets over the 40 up to the 42-yard line. And that is a 43-yard punt, 9-yard return. David Anderson with the tackle on special teams for Houston. And there is a flag on the play.
During the return, holding number 24, the receiving team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
That's Jared Bush. 7-0 Houston here at Lambeau. Back to Green Bay right after this. So we are in Green Bay, folks, where Packer fans have a lot of heart. Wow.
That's insulated paint. Something. Wow.
So Green Bay takes over at the 24, first down for Aaron Rodgers. Packers have had opportunities, but they've misfired, and they've also played sloppy football early with penalties. Play fake, Rodgers rolls out of the pocket, throws on the run, and it's caught. This is Humphrey down the sideline, and he gets to the 45, a 22-yard gain. Harrison with the tackle.
Yeah, this is a great play fake. They haven't done it yet. This is the first boot they've had all day. Rodgers looks and he almost double pumps it because he can't believe that Brandon Harrison fell down in the coverage, but he did, and then he went ahead and threw it for the big gain.
So Torrey Humphrey with his 10th catch of the season, third year from Central Michigan. First down at the 46, and they hand it off to Grant, and Grant gets close to midfield. Anthony Weaver with the tackle. Ryan Grant, very interesting player. He was originally signed as a non-drafted free agent by the New York Giants out of Notre Dame in 2005. Was traded to Green Bay for a 6th-round pick September of 2007, and last season he just had a terrific year running for close to 1,000 yards.
Yeah, you get the feeling too, though, right at this point, he's not quite 100%, although he's taking the bulk of the carries. He'll probably be spelled by Brandon Jackson at some point during the game, but Mike McCarthy told us it's just not quite 100%.
2nd and 7 at the 49. Here's the pitch. Grant tries to get around the corner and does, and is down at the 49-yard line. Picks up a couple. Travis Johnson with the tackle. So Ryan Grant.
You can see he's pushing 1,000 yards, only 3 touchdowns for the year, which goes to their red zone offense problems that they've had. But he has been the guy that they've relied upon. I think he's been, considering the splash he made last year, Gus, on that team that went to the championship game, I think he's been a little bit disappointed in his production this year. 6
carries, 24 yards. Jackson replaces him. Jackson very good on screens. 3rd down and 5 at the 49. Underneath and complete. Ball intended for James Jones, the 2nd-year man from San Jose State. And the Packers have to punt it away again.
Yeah, and this is a blitz. They've got big pressure coming up. Rodgers sees it. And so does Jones, but he just can't connect. You see there, he's got to extend it out to get it. And the defender's right there. Brett Bennett's right there.
So Capanos, first punt, 25 yards. Much better on the second, 48 yards. He didn't get much hang time on that second punt, giving Jacoby Jones a chance. Jones, a very dangerous return man. This time, though, Capanos blasts it, and it heads into the end zone for a touchback. A 49-yard punt, a net of 29 yards coming up. Texans from the 20 right after this. Thursday on Survivor, the competition intensifies, setting the stage for the season finale next Sunday on CBS, America's most watched network. Gus Johnson, Steve Tasker, Green Bay, Wisconsin. Packer fans,
some people
going crazy. Anything to do to stay warm, right?
Some people go crazy with the heat, not in Green Bay.
Ryan Moats has checked in at running back, and Moats running it over the left side with room, and he was in camp with the Philadelphia Eagles, has played in Philadelphia last few years, released at the end of training camp, finding a home here in Houston as he picks up 3 yards there on first down. And the numbers for Ryan Moats this season, averaging over 4 yards per carry.
Yeah, that's a great stat, Gus. Per carry yards is really what you look at. And if you have a game where you see a running back and occasionally you see a guy getting 5 or 6 yards a carry, that's because he's not carrying it enough.
Play fake shot, bootleg with time, and he just dumps it out of bounds. Good defense by the Green Bay Packers.
Well, Gus, when you watch the Texans on film, they do that so much. The play action, the bootlegs, their quarterbacks move and throw out of the pocket by design, perhaps more than any team in the National Football League. Schaub did it. They did it with Sage Rosenfeld when he was in the game. It's just part of their offense. And, you know, you had to wonder if Matt Schaub, with that knee brace right there, if he's going to be able to do it today. I think that question's been answered.
Schaub started the game 2 for 2, 63 yards. He's missed 5 straight. 3rd down and 7 at the 23 out of the gun. Schaub underneath, and it's caught. It's a first down at the 35-yard line. Terrific looking catch by David Anderson, and it's a gain of 13.
And I think that's going to be a key, Gus. You see as Schaub drop back, you know, the play action takes a long time, and the bootlegs take a long time to develop, but this play comes out of there pretty quick. A little 5-yard quick slant route, and Schaub gets rid of it. That negates the pressure. It negates protection problems, everything, if Schaub can get rid of it to an open receiver really quickly.
14 catches on the season for Anderson. First down at the 36. Steve Slayton, the single setback. Here's Slayton running right this time. Slayton pops it. Slayton down the sideline, and he's tripped up inside the 30. Nick Collins with the saving tackle, but Slayton picks up 34 yards.
So we talked to Gary Kubiak, and he said that Slayton's getting a little more comfortable with that one cut and go, and you saw it right there. That's what he did. They stretched the defense to the sideline. The back picks the spot, makes one cut, and gets what he can get.
And that's the end of the first quarter. Back to Green Bay right after this. Steve Slayton with 69 yards rushing already as we start the second quarter, and he runs it straight ahead, and Slayton this time won't go very far. But let's take a look at Steve Slayton, and he's getting a lot of support from that offensive line.
Yeah, he goes right between Mike Brizell and Eric Winston. And you know, even Mike McCarthy spoke to us and said he could tell that when he watched him on film that Slayton's getting much more comfortable running this type of offense. Mike McCarthy is very familiar with that Denver running game that Gary Kubiak brought with him from Denver to Houston.
Having some technical difficulties. Second down and 10 at the 30. Schaub deep in the pocket, throws to the sideline. Andre Johnson with the catch, and he's out of bounds close to the 10 in front of Al Harris, and that's his first catch of the day. The NFL's leading wide receiver coming into this game with 88 catches for over 1,100 yards, and he gains 19.
And he's working on Al Harris. As I watch this game, Al Harris is like a shadow with Andre Johnson. Wherever Andre Johnson lines up, it looks like Al Harris is going to be on him. And it's just like one of those fights, Gus. Sometimes you win, sometimes the other guy wins, and it just depends on where the ball's going on that play as if you get to take advantage of it.
First down and 10 at the 11-yard line. Slayton cuts it back, and he goes down inside the 10. Johnny Jolly with first contact. And Houston in the red zone this season, 45 possessions. They've scored 22 touchdowns, 14 field goals. That's a 48.9 touchdown percentage, 21st in the league.
Yeah, and Green Bay has struggled in the red zone of late. Now, they struggled badly last week. Of course, they were put in bad positions. They had a couple of red zone drives that started inside their 5-yard line. But this Houston team has not been all that great in the red zone. 21st in the league is not good enough.
Second down and 8 at the 9-yard line. Schaub over the middle. Schaub caught. Daniels fumble. Loose. Picked up by the Packers. And we have our first turnover.
And I think there's no question that's the right call, Gus. Owen Daniels had that ball, tucked it away, turned up, and it got knocked loose. That's a fumble and a fumble recovery and a turnover.
First and 10, ball at the 3.
Great play by Desmond Bishop to knock that ball loose on the right. Owen Daniels has been having a fine season. Marching into the end zone, unable to hold on. And now the Packers take over at their own 3. And here's a handoff. Grant trying to give them some room as he gets close to the 5. They'll mark it, though, at the 4. Let's take a look at the fumble.
And you'll watch as Daniels pulls this in. He's going to pull it in, tuck it away under his left arm, take a step, and then gets hit by Bishop, and that ball comes out. There's no question it was a fumble. Both feet on the ground, and it's tucked away, and he turns it up the field. And that's a classic catch fumble. And you know what, Gus? He didn't complain. He knew it when it happened. He didn't beef the call at all.
2nd down and 9 at the 4. Play fake. Rodgers looks far side. Nicely done. Donald Driver steps out of bounds as he picks up a 1st down, gaining 11 in front of Dante Robinson.
Hooker, that's just a stop route. Easy when you got man-off coverage.
That's the right tackle, Mark Tauscher.
Yeah,
9th year out of Wisconsin, and he has to be helped off the field.
Yeah, you don't want to start losing offensive linemen at this point of the season, Gus. He'll be replaced by
Tony Mall.
Number
75. There's Mall. 3rd year out of Nevada. Substitutes coming in as Brandon Jackson enters the game at running back as Tauscher. It's not a good sign. He can't put much pressure on his lower body. 1st down, Mario Williams, the great pass rusher out of North Carolina State, with 11 sacks to lead the defensive ends of the AFC. 1st down, play fake, Rodgers, far side. Beautiful throw and a beautiful catch by James Jones as he hangs on to that one and gains 12 yards. And last week the Packers started slow, were down by as many as 11, but found their rhythm.
Yeah, no question. And this is, you said it, Gus, great throw and a great catch. Look at him extend and grab it. And I'll tell you, Gus, a cold football on a day like this, it gets slippery. And it starts to hurt when it comes in, whether you got gloves or not. That was a much better catch than it looked like.
1st down at the 27. Grant back in the game, as well as Jackson in the backfield. Short drop, underneath, throw behind, and somehow Jennings is able to hang on. He had to almost turn around to catch that football. Greg Jennings stopped by Fred Bennett.
Well, you're exactly right, Gus. Rodgers pulls this back down and then goes to Jennings as his 2nd option, and Jennings has the presence of mind to stay with it. Watch, he's going to go try to find Driver and can't, and he goes back to Jennings. And wow, to his credit, Jennings stays with the catch after he had to knock it down and then pull it in. Wow.
11-yard gain. Jennings leads the NFL with 18 20-plus yard receptions. Here's Rodgers rolling out of the pocket, throws across his body, and it's caught. Rovell Martin, 3rd-year player out of Saginaw Valley State, gains 16, and all of a sudden, the Green Bay Packers have found their rhythm on offense.
Well, you want to know what the weather does to people, because I'll tell you, the Houston Texans aren't making catches like this. The Packers live in this weather, they work in this weather, they train in this weather. This weather doesn't bother them, and those are tough catches to make.
1st down at the 46-yard line. Best drive of the day so far for Green Bay. Ryan Grant in the backfield with Rodgers. Here's Rodgers firing up top, wide open, incomplete. He had Jordy Nelson, and that one overthrown.
By Reeves.
Jock Reeves covering.
You said it, he had good separation right there. Reeves closes the gap, but the ball is just about 6 inches too far. Nelson watching the football as it flew over his head. Guys, that's just missed. Throws just a little too far out there, but by the same token, you can't really blame Aaron Rodgers to try and put it away from the defender.
2nd down and 10 at the 46. Out of the eye, Rodgers. He pitches it. Grant. And Grant.
Ran the ball there.
5 yards off the play.
That was a running play, Gus. Did you see Owen Daniels, the guy who led to the start of this drive inside the Packer 5 with the turnover? That was a pitch play. Usually you see a ball, the quarterback turn to pitch it to the running back, and the guy goes wide around the end. This is a pitch play right up inside the tackles. Really an innovative way to get the ball between the tackles, making it look like a sweep.
Mark Tauscher has a left knee injury. They took him inside to take a look at the knee. 3rd down 5 at the 41. Rodgers. And Chevrolet goes down. by Tim Bullman, his 4th sack of the season. And the Packers will have to punt once again.
Yeah, for a drive that had a lot of promise, Gus, this one turns into nothing, and Bullman comes up. Rodgers saw him just at the last minute, knew he wasn't going to get rid of the football, so he went into the fetal position, just took the blow. Smart play not to turn it over.
And it's a loss of 7. So the Packers punt. Jacoby Jones starts from the 6 and goes out of bounds at about the 13-yard line. A 40-yard punt. Charles Woodson covering a 6-yard return.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by BlackBerry. Pizza Hut, introducing Panormas, Pizza Hut's biggest pan pizza ever. And by Turbo HD by Dish Network.
And welcome back, 1st down and 10 at the 13-yard line. Moats remaining in the game and running back, and here's Ryan Moats. And he gains 3 yards on the play. Steve Slayton has been terrific. 9 carries, 75 yards. Aaron Campman with the tackle there. First 4 possessions for the Texans. They got the touchdown on their opening drive.
You know, we're just talking during the break. Aaron Rodgers has completed 6 passes to 6 different guys. Matt Schaub has completed 5 passes to 5 different guys. Nobody's caught more than 1 pass in this game.
2nd down and 7 at the 16. Here's Schaub. Steps up and goes down at the 10-yard line. Desmond Bishop in on the play again. A loss of 6.
Well, it was
Montgomery as well.
Excuse me, it was a 7-man rush. And Schaub just doesn't have enough guys to block. He has 2 or 3 guys that just keep running free. And he drops back. You see the play fake. As soon as he sets up, he's ducking. Bishop's in there. And I'll tell you what, Bishop's having a great game, Gus, here in the early going. He's playing lights out.
3rd down and 13 at the 10-yard line. They need to go to the 24 for a 1st down. Schaub out of the shotgun. Slayton lines up as a receiver. They find him on a screen. Here's Slayton over the 20, and Slayton picks up the 1st down. This kid is terrific.
You said
Alfred Malone with the tackle. 1st down, Houston.
That was a great little pass. Watch, this is what he's done so far today. He came in, as we said, just shy of 1,000 yards. 1 cut there, and then a missed tackle, breaks for a big one. This is for a 1st down. This is the big one down the near side. Last guy gets him. And here's a little pass play to him, a little quick screen right out there where he finds a seam and gets a big 1st down, or at least close to it, and close enough to measure, and he did get it.
So Slayton keeping the chains moving for the Texans.
You know, we've talked, Gus, I mean, both these clubs, and you saw the Packers do it in their last series, and of course the Texans have done it, and they just fumble the ball going in. Neither team is that great in the red zone. Gary Kubiak's team offensively and defensively, and also the Packers offensively and defensively. So it's going to be interesting to see which of these teams can get it together and put it in the end zone down close.
1st down and 10 at the 23. Slayton running this time. And Slayton gets to the 25. Cleveland and the Titans playing each other today. Here's James Brown in New York.
Gus and Steve plays 6. Hooking up with Ahmad Hall. He knows what to do with it. 28 yards to pay dirt. Titans on top, 7-6 over Cleveland. That in the 2nd. Back to Gus and Steve.
And these Texans will face the Titans next week in Houston. As you take a look, Tennessee 11-1. Their only loss coming to the Jets. 2nd down and 7 at the 26. Schaub, far side. Picked off! Trayvon Williams stepping in. 2nd turnover of the day.
Yeah, the Packers do that better than anybody in the National Football League, Gus. Watch as he's got the receiver coming out, working against Andre Davis, and just steps in front of it. He watches the quarterback and the receiver, makes his play, and just steps in front of the pass. You can't do it any better than that, Gus. Williams starting today in place of Charles Woodson, who moved to safety for Atari Bigby, and they shuffle it around, and man, has it paid off. Williams with the pick down deep in Texans territory.
5th interception of the season for Tramon Williams. And the Packers now have it at the Houston 23-yard line. Grant running. And Grant stopped by Mario Williams. He picks up 3 yards on the play. Turnovers a problem for Houston, already 2 here in the first half.
One of those cost them 7 points as Owen Daniels fumbled it going into the end zone, which is a huge difference maker, because instead of leading by 14, they're leading by 7, and now the other turnover gives them a chance, gives the Packers a chance to tie it up here down in their own end.
2nd down and 7 at the 20. Donald Lee in motion. Play fake. Rodgers looking, fires in the end zone. Touchdown! Donald Lee. He pushed off at the end, but didn't get caught, and the Packers are on the board. A 20-yard strike.
He's got a big time. Watch as he gets on. This is a mismatch. Harrison is not as big as Lee is, and he just kind of turns. I mean, they're playing the ball. You see Harrison trying to make it, and Lee just won't let him do it. Turns around and just puts his body between the defender and the ball.
Extra point up and good. 5:07 to play in the 2nd quarter, and we're tied at 7 apiece here at Lambeau Field. Donald Lee, Aaron Rodgers, Packers on the board.
Watch here on this replay, Gus, as this happens. Aaron Rodgers is going to throw this, and you'll see Lee at the end of this working against Harrison. When both the defender and the receiver are looking for it, there's not going to be any offensive or defensive pass interference. Nobody cares. If you're both looking at the football, anything goes.
Andre Davis fields it at the 15-yard line, follows his block, and is chopped down at the 30. Some nice looking special teams coverage by Ravel Martin after a 14-yard return.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Acura. Visit shopacura.com during the Drive Home for the Holidays event. Acura. Advance. And by Lipitor.
Electric atmosphere here in Green Bay. Our game is tied at 7 apiece. Gus Johnson, Steve Tasker with you as the Texans come to the line of scrimmage. First down at their own 29. Leach and Slayton in the backfield. Play fake, shot, bootleg, looking, fires for everything. Walter has it at the 22. Kevin Walter with the double move in front of Williams, and he picks up 46 yards.
Tramon Williams just had the interception, and then Walters gets him, and then the double move. Oh, nice. And it's a great throw, too, because you'll watch as Matt Schaub drops back on this play fake. Watch as he winds up. This turns into a big, big throw. He puts everything into that throw, and it's right on the money.
And Schaub looked off Williams to a wide-open Kevin Walter. 2 catches, 104 for Walter. First down at the 25. Slayton juking, and Slayton will be taken down at the 20-yard line. Desmond Bishop again.
Slayton got out there in the open space, and he gives a little bit of a, dare I say it, a little Barry Sanders right here, boop, boop, and gets right by the defender. That was a nice move, and that's what he's done, Gus, consistently. He makes guys miss, and that leads to a lot of yards in the NFL.
Houston with 239 yards already in total offense. 2nd and 4 at the 19. Slayton, second man through. And Slayton gets close to the 15-yard line. About a 3-yard pickup. Bottom of the pile, Johnny Jolly and Desmond Bishop.
We mentioned at the top, Gus, in our tools to victory, Houston's got to stay balanced. And with the run and the pass, and I think they're doing that. I mean, Slayton's had some really productive runs and even a big play. And you also think they're passing, they're just going to pass and run all the way down. But the key has been, Gus, as it has been all year for the Texans, can they keep from turning the football over?
3rd down and 1. Here's Slayton again looking for the 1st down, and he will get it as he crosses the 15 and gets to the 14-yard line. The 2-yard gain. So Slayton in the first half, 12 carries, 85 yards.
And he's just got to get past that 15-yard line there, which of course he does. And it's where he got furthest penetration, is where they spot it, and he got it by a full yard. And now it's 1st and 10, and there's the balance, Gus. That last run put him 15-14 run to pass.
Houston with 3 timeouts. 1st down at the Green Bay 14. Shaw throws off his back foot, incomplete. Under a lot of pressure this time, Michael Montgomery, the 4th-year player out of Texas A&M.
Well, the crowd wants an intentional grounding, but Schaub gets enough on this. It makes it past the line of scrimmage, and Andre Johnson was in the vicinity of where the ball dropped. Now, no question, Matt Schaub wasn't trying to complete that. He was trying to get rid of it, but he was well within his right to throw that football where he did and have it be 2nd and 10 instead of 2nd and 19.
So 2nd down as Walter splits to the top of your screen. Andre Johnson lines up as a wingback on the bottom. Slayton running, and Slayton wrestled down at the 11-yard line by Desmond Bishop. A 3-yard gain takes us to the 2-minute warning. Packers 7, Texans 7. Back after this. And welcome back. Coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report, join JB Shannon, Coach Cowher, and the Boom for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report. 3rd down and 7 at the 11-yard line for Houston. Matt Schaub, empty backfield out of the gun. Here's Schaub, bounces out of the pocket, buying time, and dumps it. So the Texans will settle for a field goal with 1:54 remaining in the first half.
And that's the kind of red zone defense the Packers would like to stick with. I mean, they gave him one end zone, but he's looking right there. He's looking for Anderson or Walter, whichever one pops open. Anderson comes open quick, but then gets covered up by Woodson. And by that time, Schaub's running for his life in the backfield and has to throw it away.
So brings on Chris Brown. No attempted 30-yarder since the start of last season. Brown has missed only 6 field goals, 45 of 51. This one down, up, and good. 1:50 to play. 2nd quarter, Texans take a 10-7 lead. Voting for the 2009 Pro Bowl online.com ends Tuesday at noon Eastern time. Vote online or on your mobile phone today only at NFL.com/Pro Bowl. Now, I always thought that the Packers team colors were gold and green. You see a lot of orange.
A lot of hunters. If they're not at the Packers game, they're in the woods. Well, I'll tell you guys, everywhere you go here, though, people love the Packers, and they're really friendly. Really friendly. They love football, and I remember even years and years ago when I played here, they were really appreciative of both teams. They loved having the NFL here in Green Bay.
Brown sends it away. Blackman starts from the goal line. Blackman has steam. Blackman pops it. Blackman! Can he get there? Flag on the play. We'll see. Touchdown, Green Bay. 99 yards.
Yeah, there's no question this one's coming back. Even the Packers' offensive line's already
During the
out of
return, holding. Number 57, the receiving team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
That's Jason Hunter. Third holding penalty today.
You'll see him right here. He's gonna be working on nading, and he wraps his arms around. He's got his arm around the outside of the shoulder, and you can see there the flag comes right in, and it's right at the point of attack, and the officials are all watching that spot, and it's easy call to make. It's tough on a great return, but on that case, Gus, if he doesn't hold him, that return may not go the distance.
So the Packers, instead of having a 99-yard touchdown, take over at their own 17. Green Bay with 3 timeouts left for Aaron Rodgers, who starts in the shotgun. 3-receiver package. Rodgers steps up, dumps it to his tailback, Brandon Jackson, who stopped by D'Amico Ryans after a 4-yard gain. And the Packers will get to the line of scrimmage quickly.
Yeah, both teams have their full complement of timeouts. Both have 3 timeouts, and the Pack will go no huddle here and stay spread.
2nd down and 6. Rodgers over the middle. Donald Lee down the seam, and he's close to midfield as the Packers.
They'll take a timeout here, Gus. It's a smart call. It's quicker to take the timeout and take up the yardage than to wait and then spike it and go first down again. You'll watch Lee's coming right up the right side of your screen, and then just breaks down in between the hashes, and what a sensational throw by Aaron Rodgers. And you get 3 timeouts left, Gus, when you start this 2-minute drill. The clock's almost irrelevant, because if you're going to be successful, your timeouts are going to make it possible for you to get all the way down there. So the clock's really irrelevant. And then when you start using your timeouts, depending on the clock, then you can start thinking about, getting out of bounds and doing that. But as you can see, with 3 timeouts, work the middle of the field, everything, your whole playbook's open. They could even do a running play here, a draw play out of the shotgun or something like that. That's how much time 3 timeouts can give you.
1st down and 10 now for Rodgers and the Packers at their own 46-yard line. 1:06 to play in the 2nd quarter. James Jones in motion. Rodgers with time all day. Underneath, Jackson with the catch. And he is wrestled down after a 2-yard pickup. Well, for Mason Crosby, the field goal kicker, where do the Packers have to get to be in his range?
They've got to get at least the 30-yard line. That'll be a 47-yard attempt, Gus, and even that's on the edge in this kind of weather.
2nd down and 8 at the 48. Rodgers underneath, and Rodgers completing it to Donald Driver, who is stopped by Xavier Adibi. And the Packers call another timeout now with 1 remaining. And don't forget, coming up on the Sprint halftime report, join JB, Shannon, Coach Cower, and Boomer for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Sprint halftime report. So Mason Crosby, there you go. You say about the 35 seat.
Yeah, I think in the direction they're headed, left to right, I don't know. I think 35-yard line's pushing it, but no question, Gus, when time's running out, they're going to try it no matter where they get to.
And you talked earlier today, we were having breakfast about how when it's cold outside, the ball feels like a weight.
Oh, yeah.
When a kicker has to kick it.
It gets rock, and it's almost like a polished rock. It gets slipperier as well. So, it gets hard and tough to kick.
3rd down and 3 at the 47. Rodgers sprinting out of the pocket, throws on the run. Picked off Dante Robinson at the 40. Nicely done. First turnover for the Packers with 33 seconds left, and Houston has 3 timeouts.
Yeah, Dante Robinson just comes up and just doesn't leave. He lets Driver go deep and then steps in front of Jennings. Aaron Rodgers thought right here, he thought Robinson was going to drop back off with Donald Driver and go deep, but he didn't. He sloughed off and stepped right underneath Jennings, and that's what gave him the chance. Aaron Rodgers never saw him. He saw him engage with drivers. He ran by, thought that was a defender that was used up by the other receiver, and he wasn't. Robinson sloughed off, went to the outside, read the quarterback's eyes, and made the pick.
Robinson with a severe knee injury last year, started the season on the sideline, and now is back in the starting lineup underneath. And this reception is made at the 45-yard line by Andre Johnson. He picks up 5 yards. Bishop with another tackle, and a timeout called by Houston.
Yeah, with this little time left, you got to start using your timeouts out. That's the first one used by Houston. You know, with 22 seconds, they're thinking now. I think the 35-yard line may be doable. I think the breeze is a little bit right to left. So, but it's the exact same thing the other time, Gus. If they get close, they're going to try it no matter what.
Chris Brown, who's been excellent. As you take a look at the flags, there is going to be a breeze at his back.
There's not much wind here today. A lot of the local guys were saying, you know, gosh, at least it's not windy, as if, you know, well, you take what you can get.
Wow.
You take what you can get, no question.
I'd hate to see if it were windy, Steve. Bro, especially considering that neither one of us can feel our toes right now.
It is so cold.
2nd down and 5 at the 45. For Matt Schaub, who's thrown an interception in the first half. Empty backfield. 4 receivers. Schaub over the middle. Incomplete. Andre Johnson, the intended receiver. Al Harris jumps on his back. And that brings up 3rd down.
Well, there's that matchup we spoke about a little earlier. Al Harris, he doesn't even step in the defensive huddle. He just waits till the offensive huddle breaks and then walks to wherever Andre Johnson is. You see at the top of your screen, gets right in. You see it was almost a little bit of a rub. Andre Johnson stops, hesitates, and then heads on across. Al Harris is too experienced to fall for it, and he breaks the pass up.
3rd down and 5 at the 45. Texans are 4 of 7 on 3rd down conversions. Walter in motion. Here's Schaub looking that way underneath. Owen Daniels with the reception, and he picks up the 1st down and gets to the Green Bay 44, an 11-yard gain, and the Texans call a timeout.
Well, they're thinking right now with a 1st and 10 and only a few seconds left in this half, 13 seconds. They've got time for maybe one more play. I would say it's not going to be an end zone play, Gus. It's going to be a 5, 10, a field goal range type play, just to get them another 5 or 10 yards to get a legitimate shot at taking the lead into the halftime, or at least extending their lead.
13 seconds.
And so they're not going to try for the end zone, I don't think. I think they're going to try to get a little better field position and get a little higher percentage field goal attempt.
Gary Kubiak in his 4th season.
Doesn't mean it's got to happen.
You can't back out of it now.
Well, that's what
you got to stick with it.
That's what you just get me 10 yards, and we got a chance to go in with a 6-point lead.
1st down and 10 at the 44. Schaub fires over the middle, incomplete, broken up. He tried to get Anderson and the 10 yards, but Jared Bush is there to knock it away with 9 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and now they got time to do the same thing again. You see Anderson almost stopped and then went, and Bush, it's amazing because, not amazing, but Anderson comes in and they're running man routes. But right now, the Packers aren't even looking at the receivers. They're watching Matt Schaub's eyes. And when he starts to turn and starts to release the ball, they're breaking on his release point and getting right to the football.
2nd down and 10 at the 44. 9 seconds remaining. Here's Schaub. Steps up. Delivers Slayton down the sideline. He's got to get out. And he does. With 1 second remaining. He gets out of bounds after picking up 21 yards.
What a great play by Slayton and Schaub. And Slayton's heads up, because a lot of young players, Gus, especially a guy who's been successful like Slayton has, will say, hey, I'm going to score a touchdown. But he does the right thing and gets out of bounds, knowing his team's got 1 shot left to get some points. What a smart play by a young player, not trying to do everything himself and be a hero, but to give his place kicker a chance to extend the lead. Really smart play by a young player.
So the ball will be spotted at the 31-yard line. A 41-yard attempt. It's up. Oh, and he pushed it. No good. Packers dodge a bullet. End of the first half, and the score, Houston 10, Green Bay 7. So Chris Brown unsuccessful. 10-7 our score at the break. We'll be back with the Sprint halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the National Football League on CBS.